Becky and John Bradshaw.
Wow.
Who
Never done this
stick
before.
around and help clean it up.
Oh, yeah, that's a huge job.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it is. Turn it back to Taylor.
Welcome to Kiwanis. I'm Michael Brockler, your president-elect. I'm filling in today for Ben Spiker, who is out of town doing things that I'm not going to comment on. Before I go further on that subject, I also want to give you a brief update. I want you to take a minute and recognize that we're disappointed and sad to hear about the passing of former Kiwanian Paul Buford. Some of you may remember him. I don't. I was not here at the time, so it's my loss not having known him. But he served on our board of directors more than 30 years ago. And it's important for us to remember former Kiwanians. Today's program is going to be focused on KPED. Before that, though, we'll have the call for introspection led by Clark Goodman. He comes up this way. Song leader will be Don Chichester, and we know exactly what he's picked for us to sing. And the Pledge of Allegiance will be Joyce Montgomery. Clark?
Thank you, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well. Got some more quotes for you guys today. So I'm going to call out the quote and you guys tell me who said it, okay? So it's easy to fool the eye, but it's hard to fool the heart. Any ideas? This is actually Al Pacino said that. All right, here's one for you history buffs. Wine is constant proof that God loves us and loves to see us happy.
Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin, absolutely. Here's the next one. Truth is the ultimate power. When the truth comes around, all the lies have to run and hide. Who said that? It was Ice Cube. Ice Cube said that. Yep. All right. A child who overcomes challenges with proper emotional support will emerge stronger. That's actually Kate Middleton said that. All right, you guys will love this one. This one's gonna be fun. You gotta be really careful what you bite off. Don't bite off more than you can chew. It's a dangerous world. Ozzy Osbourne said that. Sure. And here's my last quote for you guys. Like Frank Sinatra, I'm doing it my way. Who said that? That was actually a quote from Mr. T. You guys remember Mr. T? All right. So bless this establishment and Kiwanians as they prepare and serve our food. Thank you for the opportunity to have our meal brought to us and the ability to relax and enjoy this time with one another. We understand our privilege to be here, and we pray to be a blessing to those we encounter in this place. Thank you all very much.
I'll pull the wires out so I don't step on it. You are about to participate in about a 20-year-old tradition at the Kiwanis Club. We're going to be singing the KPAD song. I wrote this about 20 years ago, and we've been singing it ever since. So and it's so good, we're going to do it twice. It's to the, if you've never sung it before, it's to the tune of the Caissons Go Rolling Along. Judy, if you will. Pancakes here, pancakes there, pancakes here and everywhere. We can yell and go flipping along. Tables set, schedules met, and the date we can't forget. We Kiwanis go flipping along. For it's cheer, cheer, cheer for Kiwanis every year. K-Pad makes all the valley strong. Sell your tickets soon, and we'll all join in the tune. We Kiwanis go flipping along. Yeah. Oh, John. It belongs to John. 21.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, thank you all. If Nancy Horn would come up to the podium, we can hear about the guests that are with us today. And Nancy, we have revived a new tradition, and excuse me, we revived an old tradition. We're going to want to hear you tell us something about what attracted you to joining the club, as well as introducing the guests.
Thank you. Of course, Pegram told me to get up and show myself. No, he said get up and introduce yourself, really. So I'm Nancy Horn. I was here probably back in 2009. Loved the Kiwanian work I done. I love my Key Club group. I love the children in the school, and they work me to death. Can you not hear me? I'm sorry. Now I'm screaming in myself. But I was here about 9 years ago, and I loved to be in a Kiwanian. I had Key Club and Young Heroes, and it was a lot of fun. So I'm going to try to help you out and try to be a good member. Thank you for letting me come back. So would our guests please stand up? Can you, thank you, can hear me. We have Miles Wilson. He's with Game Time Clothing. And his host is Steve McGraw, who has returned from Florida. He was a ghost for a couple weeks, months. And he's with him is Richard Wilson, and of course, Game Time Clothing, Inc. And Steve McGraw is also his host. We have Jason Lane with Savvy Events, and his host, let's see, Jason, what is your, probably.
That'd be me.
Yeah, but I don't know who, anyway, he's a guest of Mike Rothschild. I think that's right. Kayla Henson with Sir Pro, and her host is Clark Goodman. We have Ben Greenewald with Virginia Tech, and the host is Eddie Smith.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, as important as KPAD is, before we get to that, I'm going to give you my president-elect's message. And depending on how this goes, we may make this a part of regular meetings next year. And the message today is about high-performance teams, high-performance teams. I figured since we're kicking off KPAD ticket sales today, this would be a subject worth addressing. It's a subject quite familiar to me. In fact, this subject has been at the center of my professional life It's been at the center of my volunteer life. It's at the center of what I try to do here in the club. I've studied the subject, I've researched the subject, and I do try to practice the subject, high performance teams and KPAD. So that subject of high performance teams refers to a group of people who are goal oriented. They have specialized expertise and talent. They have complementary skills, and they collaborate. They innovate, and they produce consistently superior results. I want you to know that's the leadership team we've assembled for KPAD this year. I want you to give the KPAD leadership team some love. So here's an example. A few years ago, when I was climbing Mount Aconcagua, it's one of the 7 summits of the world, we would carry excruciatingly heavy loads up the mountain. We'd drop those and up higher on the mountain and come back, and the next day, more heavy loads. No Sherpas on Aconcagua. The altitude's thin air, the extreme cold, the steep terrain did not help. Well, I knew I was on a high performance team when one day, as we gathered in front of the piles of loads that the guide had set out for us, as we gathered in front of those piles of loads, I knew I was on a high performance team when the first person walked over. It did not pick up the lightest load. It's delightful to be surrounded by people who meet these qualifications. Thank you for that. Now you may applaud. All right, I got a few announcements to make. The first of which that appears on your agenda and mine is the social night. Once again, Larry Kufel has set us up to have a big time evening over at the theater. Amy Carter has set us up to enjoy some food ahead of time and perhaps enjoy each other's company. 6 p.m. tomorrow night. About 70 of us are expected. Moving on, Sherry Hartman.
Tickets will be on the table at the reception like we always do, okay? So don't worry about not having tickets.
All right, tickets will be on the table when you show up for the reception. Thank you. Sherry Hartman and a bunch of other people are working on Kiwanis Fun Day over at the Melrose Library. They've got a planning meeting tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Where do you think you can find out information about that meeting?
On the website.
On the website. Thank you, Ben Spiker, for reminding us every week about that website. Monday, the Kiwanis Environment Committee Zooms. Same answer, look on the website. The big deal at that meeting is we're welcoming in a new chair. Michael Brocta has been voted off the island. And Dave Perry has taken over as chair of the Environment Committee meeting. Thank you, Dave. You can give him some applause. April 22nd, Kids Fishing Day. All right, that's our annual event. This year it's sponsored again by Orvis. It's for the kids at the West End Center. We'll host 30 to 35 kids at the Hope Tree Family Services. They have a fishing pond in Salem. Normally they put some fish in the pond before the kids show up. Sometimes kids catch fish. Either way, they eat fish for lunch. This year it's Saturday from 9 to 12 on April 22nd. See previous comments on the website. Bob Rutherford has details if you want to talk to him about it. And then the KPAD leadership team, who I just complimented a few minutes ago. We meet today immediately following this meeting. Every one of you is invited to join that KPAD leadership team meeting. Are there any announcements that I've missed? Anything I need to add for the good of the club? Sign-ups for the Kids Fishing Day are on the table. Thank you, Bob. So, Well, with that said, it's time for brag bucks, and I understand there's perhaps one or two of you that have something to say. Please come up now.
Well, I'm Don Witt, and I'm going to brag on my basketball team. Now, why would I brag on Penn State's basketball team? They have, good question, because they have been absolutely terrible for the last 10, 15 years. In fact, they have never been invited, they've only been invited to the NCAA in 2011 was the last time they were invited to NCAA. But what happened? Penn State almost beat Purdue in the Big Ten championship. They lost by 2 points. They're doing all right.
All right. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon. I would like to brag on a few people. So Don Witt, I'll brag about him in a minute, and also Jenny Lee. And so Jenny provided me the working documents from the 2017 strategic plan. And she told me to open them carefully because we're not quite sure what might be inside. But Don met with me and Ben Spiker, and I have strategic plan information in large amounts, but we are starting a new strategic plan process this year. And I want to thank all the people that have volunteered to be on that committee. We're really going to get started after KPAD because of the monumental process of what we have to do there. And then I'd like to also brag on Lee Osborne, who randomly sat at our table, and he is on our team, but he was willing to join our team even if he was not.
I just want to make an observation before Steve gets up here and says something about JC. But his shirt says "Say Less." So, Steve, I don't know what that means, but you know.
I'm going to explain that.
Okay, you can follow your own advice, maybe. That's all I'm saying. All right. Well, so speaking of Jenny Lee, I was afraid I wouldn't have any Dukes here today, but I've got a fellow Duke here today. Gene is not with us today, but the James Madison University Lady Dukes, in their first year in the Sun Belt Conference, won the conference regular season, won the conference tournament, won the championship game by 30 points, and they are headed up to Columbus, Ohio on Saturday to lay a whooping on Ohio State. So we're looking forward to that. Everybody cheer the Dukes. Go Dukes. Thank you very much.
I'm Ken Briggs, and sometimes we talk about our action club that we sponsor, made up of adults, all of whom have disabilities. But last Monday was one of the best meetings we've ever had. One of our members is disabled, but he has an amazing musical talent. He can hear and just put it on the keyboard or the organ. He played in a church the other day, got a standing ovation. But he lives in a small apartment, and he doesn't, up until now, he's not had a keyboard to play in his apartment. And last Monday for lunch, we were looking around, and Mike Adams, Kiwanis Mike Adams, had disappeared. Well, where'd Mike go? And in a few minutes, Mike Adams came in the meeting and brought Jeffrey Whitaker, gave him a keyboard to play in the front. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, now I've got a couple of brags. Excuse me. I'm channeling my best Milton Hardy with the, I know, I'm falling short, there's no question about it. But with the hat and the sunglasses, I'm trying to emulate. Okay, thank you. Now, the next thing I want to brag on is my two guests, Miles Wilson, who was the subject of this front page Roanoke Times newspaper article on Sunday, February 19th, about not only being an outstanding basketball player, a senior at William Fleming, but also being an entrepreneur who has a clothing business, including producing shirts like this, which, yes, Dave, say less, certainly applies to me. Just so happens that somehow Miles knew that when he produced these shirts starting a couple of years ago. Miles is going to be selling his wares at Fun Day on May 20th at the
April
Melrose
20th.
Library.
April 26th, May 20th.
Let me help the incoming president. May 20th, check the website. Thank you. He needs that. He needs that. Now, I want Miles to talk to you for just a minute. One piece of information, Miles's father, Richard, is here with him. Richard works for Roanoke City Schools. Richard, I'm trying to get him to join our club so nobody else can jump in front of me. Too late. But Richard was coached by Joe Gaither when Richard was 9 years old. So when I asked Joe this morning, do you know Miles? He said, I know the whole family, Steve. Miles, please take a moment and talk with us.
Hey everybody, I'm Miles Wilson. I started Game Time Clothing in the year 2020 during COVID when everything got locked down. I was just bored in my house doing nothing. And I went to a Renaissance Academy meeting and he challenged us to come out of COVID like better or just get something out of it instead of just sitting around. So I decided to, why not become financially independent and try to start my own business. I ain't have to ask my mama and dad for money no more, but I still do. So now, so yeah, I came up with the business. Game Time Clothing is the brand, which means the time is now. There's no reason to wait for the perfect time to go after what you want to do because that time is never going to come. So start today, which plays to our slogan, say less, which means stop talking about what you want to do and just do it. So that's how Say Less and Game Time came. And I've just been able to grow it ever since then and just have fun and be a kid and grow a brand. It's fun. Also, I applied to the Kiwanis scholarship, so if y'all see Miles Wilson,
Miles is going to UVA. I did all I could, okay?
We're gonna get into the KPAD program in a minute, but I couldn't resist the opportunity. You've seen week after week, I get up and stick a camera in the face of the people standing up here at the podium. Thank goodness Don Witt's doing it this week. But I couldn't put my camera down, so everybody smile. Looking good. So KPAD, I'm supposed to make some inspiring, witty, and informative remarks according to our KPAD ticket co-chairs this year. So that's what I'm going to try to do. And those remarks will begin with a big thank you to our ticket co-chairs, Stephanie Moon Reynolds and Mike McAvoy. Show them some appreciation. You know, I had that job in 2019. I know what a big and important job it is, and I know what they bring to the game. So we're in good hands with them, at least for the next few minutes. We'll see what happens after that. I'm pleased to say that we are back indoors this year at the Berkland Center. We will have a big yard sale, and we will auction the star. We're also doing some new things. And the biggest new thing we're doing is we're partnering with the people running the Spring Craft Fair, the same place at the same time. Those people are Savvy Events, and with us today is Jason Lane, if you would stand up, please, who runs Savvy Events. This could be a really mutually beneficial partnership. They have thousands of people showing up to their hundreds of vendors at the craft fair. We have thousands of people showing up for breakfast to eat pancakes. Wouldn't it be nice? Exactly. So we'll see. We'll see. It's a great partnership. It's a great partnership. So, and you know, speaking of great partnerships, we have sponsors again this year that need to be recognized. And I'm going to do that now. Coming back to us as a major sponsor again is Haley Toyota. Show them some appreciation. Chuck Baker called me this morning and said he was busy selling cars. He'd catch up with us at another meeting. Also, another major sponsor, thank goodness for Clark Goodman and Servpro. Would you two please stand up? Thank goodness. And we have a new sponsor this year at this point, a major sponsor, the Roanoke Times. Club member Greg Leinberger, who's accepted my request to lead the sponsorship campaign this year for KPAD, has lined them up to give us 4 full-page ads in the Roanoke Times during the month leading up to KPAD. Fantastic. You've heard me stand up here and brag the past couple of weeks about some of the people on KPAD. One of those people was Alex Barge, who's sitting back there in the room. You know him because he runs the newsletter so well. He's also running the marketing and communications campaign for KPAD. And we have just scored a coup. Visit Virginia's Blue Ridge, that's the tourist bureau, have agreed to feature us in their communications and marketing campaign. And the Roanoke Regional Chamber of Commerce has agreed to do the same. I don't know where this headed. You know, I spent a career in the CIA. We didn't do much marketing. But you know, maybe it'll be big. I don't know. So the challenge to the leadership team for KPAD this year, the challenge, which I'm going to hammer on them after today's meeting, suggest to them politely, is to have a surge plan. What happens if hundreds and hundreds of people walk in at the last minute and want to eat breakfast? Isn't that a nice problem to be thinking about? I think so. So, what else do I have to say? Oh yeah, I'm going to thank you in advance, because what's your job? Sell tickets. Thank you very much. I'm introducing.
Bring up auction and yard sale.
Oh, bring them up.
Yeah.
Where's your agenda?
Yeah, auction.
Oh, bring
It's
up your
here,
auction and yard.
It's all up here.
Okay.
It's in Hayes.
So I've taken direction, which I'm happy to do. Auction and yard sale, which I briefly mentioned, are going to come and talk to you now. I understand Betsy and Leanne are both coming to the microphone. Please come on up.
I'm gonna let Leanne do most of the talking because she's keeping the items that I'm taking over to her office. And then she's going to tell us what we're going to do with what's in Jenny Lee's storage unit and what you will need to do. Take it away, Leanne.
Thanks. I was gonna let you talk. All right. Well, we're excited. A little bit spur of the moment, us getting up here and explaining to you what needs to happen. So I think I'm going to cover all the bases by letting you know that for this year, we are doing the yard sale only. I am collecting items at my office leading up to the event. So I'm at Roanoke Valley Speech and Hearing Center. If you need help figuring out where we are and where would be the best place to arrive and load in a time, just contact me with an email or with my phone number and we can set that up. When you sign up that you are going to contribute items to the yard sale, I ask that you just shoot me an email and let me know. So that way I can kind of check you off my list when those items are brought over and follow up with everyone before the event. And you have two options. You know, you can bring it by the center before the event, or you can sign up to bring your items to the Berglund Center on Friday. Either way, I just need to know that way we can plan to have enough volunteers. Some tips that we have for yard sale items are to make sure you bring us items that are going to sell. Please, no broken items. A little bit dusty is okay, but years worth of stains or other mysterious items that have been spilled on them, we prefer not to get if possible. So please just keep that in mind. And then you can either price the item beforehand, before you drop it off, or you leave it up to us. And if we determine it'll sell for $1, we're gonna put $1 on it. If we determine it could go for more or less, we'll kind of make that determination. So if you have your heart set on it being sold for a certain amount, go ahead and price that before you bring it to us. Anything you want to add in, Betsy, before I?
You want to tell what happens to the items?
Sure. So 2 other things, just want to make sure we put an appeal out today for any volunteers who are willing to help out with the yard sale. We're looking for volunteers who might be able to stop by the center and help price items, organize items, maybe clean them up a little bit or make sure they're working before the event. And we're going to kind of categorize them so that when we take them over to the event, they're going to be easily kind of displayed and pulled out of containers. So if that's something where you have even just an hour available in your week to come by and do that, please let me know. We would appreciate the help. And then after the yard sale, we're working with, we haven't quite finalized who the vendor is going to be, but we're going to have either the restore or someone else come by and pick up all the remaining items that are left over, unless you let me know otherwise. If you don't want your item to get donated after the event, you have to let me know, and you have to be available to pick it up on Saturday at the end of the event.
No storage.
No storage. I'm not taking anything back.
And family services is going to get some of the items.
Okay. And family service is going to get some of the items for their event, which is the following weekend. Okay. Which is the following weekend for their kind of silent auction event.
Oh, that's
It's the car show, right? Yeah.
Oh.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Everybody excited?
That's Harry.
So it's Harry's turn to come to the microphone. And what he's going to do is he's going to explain to you why the best use of your time is to volunteer for KPAD this year.
I've got to correct this guy here first. He said, what's your job? Got one job, to sell tickets. No, you have 2 jobs. We have to have an excellent product and service on Saturday morning, May 6th. How do we do that? With your help and volunteer. Now, it's from 7 to 1. That's 8 hours. Now picture 8 hours of your time. It's only once a year, not 2 hours. I'm talking about 8 hours. That everyone doesn't have to sign up for 8 hours. You can make $5,000 an hour. $5,000 an hour, $40,000 in one day. Then you can loaf the rest of the year, you know what I'm saying? If you don't want to go out and dig ditches or whatever the environment committee does, or that kind of stuff, that's fine. So here's the deal. Last couple of years, you've seen it. You haven't seen little pieces of paper on the table where you write your name and someone collects it all and rewrites it, and rewrites it, and rewrites. Now we're going to have an electronic online sign up. Most of you, listen, any fool can do it, really. So no problem. I think everyone in here will, be able to do it. And the other day, matter of fact, I got the email addresses of all the grant recipients that we've had for the last few years. And we're going to be sending something out to them, and inviting them to volunteer that day. So soon you'll get an announcement. We'll give you a link, and an email will go out. There'll be a link. Sign up your spouse, sign up your neighbor, co-workers, spread the word, and we'll have a great KPAD.
Sign up early for the best position.
Well, the best position is going to be the all-day one. You know, we have Friday morning, we have Friday afternoon to get set up. We got to take all the yard sale things and get them set up on Friday. And then, you know what else we have to do? Saturday afternoon, after the thing's over, somebody has got to dismantle everything. And that's one of the times that we really, really need help. So think about 7 to 1, okay? There'll be shorter times to set up, but think 7 to 1, okay? Thanks so much.
Thank you, Harry. I have with me a packet of tickets. Each of our major sponsors this year has a list of benefits they receive by sponsoring our club for KPAD. Just one of the items on the list is a packet of tickets that they can use as they see fit, perhaps to give to their employees and whatnot. So I wonder if Serve Pro can come up here just for a minute.
So great.
And Don's going to take a picture of the three of us with the tickets. Yeah, come on, let's get it. All three of us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So it's time for me to turn the floor over to Stephanie and Mike. Both of them. That's all I have to say.
All right. What time is it? No. St. Patty's Day? March Madness? No. It is KPAD. I am more than Vanna White. I am displaying my pancake, syrup, fruit. Do I have a sausage on here? Bacon, juice? Yes, whipped cream. So we are here to announce the Excitement Fund with a Purpose. KPAD Day that's coming up, and what's all involved with getting prepared for KPAD. And my cohort here, co-host, I'm going to turn over to help us along in introducing what is needed for KPAD.
Thank you, Stephanie. That's all. This looks great. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Kiwanis. I'm Bobby Ricky. You may know my famous half brother, Ricky Bobby. They made a movie about his racing exploits. I taught him everything he knows. Do you think I'd get any royalties out of that movie? No. Yeah, just rip off. So anyway, if you haven't figured out, we're KPAD sales this year. We are going with a racing theme. All right. So and today is our media day for the Kiwanis Race Series Cup. And so you should see some flyers on your table here. Talk a little bit about it. Here, hold that one up.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, and again, Mike Obrachta has spent every expense to bring Stephanie and I in here.
Yes.
I haven't seen that check class of, go to the bank yet.
Yes.
So, anyway. We are going to be your race officials this year. We're really excited to get things started. And when I'm not doing KCAT, I used to be a commentator for ESPN, doing motorsports, NBC, Fox Sports, and now I'm exclusively with the Kiwanis Sports Network, a new startup that's going to be covering our race series this year. Let's see. And let's see. Got out of order. Okay, so again, Stephanie and I are going to be your race officials for this season. We've got 6 race teams that we're going to be introducing to you in a few minutes. Really good crew chiefs that are leading those, and we're going to have them come up and talk about their team names in just a second. And you guys are the pit crew. And I think y'all know that drivers don't win races. Well, they technically do, but really it's the pit crew that makes it all work. And you guys are the pit crew for these race teams. And the fuel for this race is ticket sales. So you need to get out there and sell those tickets, makes your race team move faster. And we're going to look at some races that we're having during the year. So again, look at your handout. We only got 3 or 4 on the table. Again, that I mentioned the check didn't clear.
Yes. Yes.
So we're going to start off with Daytona. And Steve McGraw has been going down to Florida in theory to vacation. He's really been checking out the track down there at Daytona for our first week. So it's ready. There we go. So next, we're going to go old school. That's right. Our next race is going to be at the Franklin County Speedway. Yeah, that's right. None of those fancy sky boxes or, fancy meals or drinks or things like asphalt. We're going to be racing at Franklin County. It's in Callaway. If you don't want to go down to Callaway or can't find Callaway, you can watch it on the Kiwanis Sports Network. Next, we're going to be in Richmond. Then we're going to Bristol. And then short track at Martinsville. Martinsville, great place to race. Short track, lots of accidents, really good. When you're done, I highly recommend the Checkered Pig, best barbecue in Martinsville. The only barbecue in Martinsville. Then we're at my favorite, Talladega. And then another special treat. Eric Danielson has got us in at the Virginia International Raceway. Now, that's somewhere down near the North Carolina border. Nobody really knows where it is. It's just a big strap of asphalt down there that you can run your car on. So anyway, we're going to be down there for one of those races. Then we're in Charlotte, and we're going to end up in Darlington. And then our finals will be May 24th. That's when we announce which team won the race. Every week, we'll be doing so you're competing to win your race every week. We're going to have some individual driver awards for those that are the high ticket sellers. And the total numbers for the year will be announced on May 24th. And Stephanie's going to tell you about the rules. And I'm just going to point out that Stephanie spent 40 years in the clerk's office keeping politicians honest. So do not try to cheat on the rules this year. And I'm speaking to you, Emily Bailey, wherever you are, that last minute turn in last year, Okay, so anyway, so Stephanie, tell them the rules.
And as you always know, there's always the rules. Rules, and rules. You have a pack of 60 valued tickets at $350. Now that's on the group discount rate. Now, honestly, if you sold them individually, we're really looking for $420. Not $350, sell them individually. Make the money. We're all about the money. The tickets now this year will be $7. As you know, in the past, they've been $5. Inflation, pandemic, you gotta have an excuse to raise up the price. So we raised the price to $7. That would be $7 in advance. But if we sell them on the day of the pancake event, $10 at the door. So try to sell in advance, save the person $3. As Mike had said, we will have the weekly races and we will recognize the teams. The teams with the most race wins and the highest ticket total, you're going to get coveted with the Haley Serve Pro Cup. And then there's going to be the best individual driver. Who's going to be the best driver? You're going to get the Billy Vincent Award. Woo. Back on the money. Money can be turned in weekly at the American National Bank, which is on 419 in Colonial. Sherry Dillon, if you all know Sherry here.
I don't think she did.
Okay. It will be at her bank. The cutoff is going to be 3 o'clock on Tuesday prior to our Wednesday. So don't come in with your ticket sales, with your money on Wednesday morning, wanting to put your name in the pot, thinking you're going to be the winner. It's not happening. You're going to go to the next week. So be sure to turn in your money as early as you can. This year, we're only going to count the ticket sales. We will not include your auction items. If you're selling auction items at that time, we're only going to be looking at the ticket sales. I think Mike O compiled a list with ticket sales, is that right? The tips for the crew chiefs, as well as the pit crews, and they were going to be emailed to the crew chiefs. I hope you got them. If not,
It'll be going out.
they're going to be in your email box. So check your box, check your spam, so we don't want to hear you didn't get it. So, and also share it with your pit crew. Don't keep it to yourself as if it's only you, when it's really your pit crew. We have ticket envelopes, which is in the pack of 60. And each one of you all should, when you get your envelopes, there should also be some magnets in there, which is save the date. I don't know who came up with that idea. Somebody came up with it. They thought it would be cool to have magnets with save the date. So we got them and we gave them to you to give away as well. And the crew chiefs will be responsible for getting the tickets out to the members, which is the pit crew again. And if you need more tickets, guess who's got tickets? Wah and Woo here has the tickets, as well as behind us with Mike O'Brock. We got too many mics here. So you got a Mike M, and you got a Mike O, and you got a Stephanie MR. So any of us will be available to help you out. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. All right, Stephanie and I are going to introduce the crew chiefs for the 6 race teams. First up, we got Kevin Reeder. Kevin, come on and tell us about your team. Man, he's looking good.
All right.
Well, thank you all. Well, we're the team that will be winning.
All right, I like it.
I like it.
The Intimidators, named after a racing legend, Dale Earnhardt, number 3. Rest in peace, of course. And you know, they say the winner ain't the one with the fastest car, it's the one who refuses to lose. And we refuse to lose. Intimidators, let's win.
All right.
Awesome. Throwing down the challenge, I like it. All right, next up, crew chief Clark Goodman.
All right, come on. Come on down.
I'm all hopped up on Mountain Dew. Woo! All right. So we're gonna be the Ricky Bobby experience, and if you ain't first, you're last.
There we go.
We're gonna tear them up. David Farm is gonna be my co-captain, and we are the big old hairy American winning machine. Thank you very much. Looking forward to our team.
All right, thank you, Clark. Next up, we got a rookie to K-Pad ticket sales, Mayor Sherman Lee. Mayor, come on up here. Tell us about your team.
Hello, everybody. Last week, I came in fired up and ready to get started. And the question was posed to me, and I said, we're gonna win. And the question was posed, what's the name of your team? And I, being a Cowboy fan, said Cowboys. And this person said, I thought you wanted to win. That was a low blow. However, I've been convinced to change the name of our team to Dominate. Dominate. So we not only want to win, I want to do what my friend Richard Wilson did with basketball this year. We want to dominate.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. All right, next up, you know him and you love him. Milton Hart.
Oh, look at him.
And he's bringing the entourage.
First of all, everybody that has all these glasses on, you can take them off. First of all, I'm nothing without my team. Because we're gonna do everything straight up and in your face. If you notice, I got some people that you may have seen all day that's on this team. Stephanie is on my team. Mike is, well, Bobby Ricky, whatever his name is today, he's on my team. The mom sitting at the table, he's on my team. Yeah, I stacked it. Yeah, I did. So that's why the name of my team is Full Throttle. Trust me, you don't want these hands. Hey, man, that would be the same.
All right, I love the entourage. All right, next up, she's a poker player, a motorcycle enthusiast, and now owner of a road race team, Jamie Bailey.
All right, so our group is in the pudding. We're not gonna stand up here and talk smack and try to show off like these other guys. Our team's the #1 car. So each week when you're here that we're in the lead, #1 car, I can assure you, my team right now is already working on our car. So just try to keep up.
Our last crew chief could not be here today, but she let me know it didn't matter because they're going to win anyway. And Lois James, and they're, let's see, anybody want to come up from Lois's team? Where you guys at? Yeah. Anybody? No? John? Yes, no? Come on. Come on, Bruce.
Come on, Bruce.
It's not a brag box competition. So Lois isn't here.
It only cost you 10 tickets.
But I wanted to say I was disappointed that there wasn't a Mazda Miata senior circuit. There's at least 3 or 4 of us that ride Miatas. And they are a race car. So Lois isn't here, but we are definitely a winning team. I just wanted to speak on behalf of Lois and our wonderful team right here. Thank you.
What's your name?
Yeah.
What's your name?
What's the name? Oh, it's called
right here. Dave.
King Pad Thunder.
Yeah.
Y'all thunder.
All right. Yeah, they are the K-Pads of Thunder. I think modeled after a Tom Cruise movie or something. So, all right. So it wouldn't be a K-Pad kickoff without a motivational video. So Micah Rock is going to tee this up.
All right.
And, you know, I'm a big NASCAR fan, but, you know, we are an inclusive club here. So you can race whatever you want. Formula One, Indy, Pine Box Derby, doesn't matter. We're good with anything. As long as it's got 4 wheels and motor, you're good. Mike, you ready?
Almost.
Quick, you get Mike's bank information.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Yes, love it. Yes.
again. All right, now, one last bit of business we got to do before we go. The big reveal. What's our goal gonna be for the year? I'm gonna let Stephanie tell you.
Drum roll, please. Is it $10,000? No. 20?
No.
30? $40,000. And again, that doesn't include the auction. That's on you. $40,000. I think we can make that and more, but we're setting it at that level just so you can go over it. Yes, we're not limited to 40, 42, 45, but we're setting 40, but we're looking for it to grow. We can do it. Yes? All right, let's get to it. Sale, sale, sale. Starting today, go out and sell. We have faith in you. Go for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. And yours, everybody start your engines.
That's it.
Let's go. I'm gonna give it back to the chair here.
So is that exciting or what? The question is, do we have any flyers? The answer is we will. We will. I guess I can take other questions if you have. Tell us about the star auction. So you heard earlier that we're doing a yard sale this year. Everything you bring to the club for KPAC will be on a table at the yard sale, except for the star. Thanks to Eric Danielson, the city has agreed to allow us to auction the star off again this year. You heard me say earlier that we've gotten terrific support from the Tourist Board and the Chamber of Commerce. Their major advertising campaign is going to include our auction of the star. Where do you think you'll be able to look for details about the auction of the star? On the website. We have an awfully nice KPAC page on the website. And shortly that page will include information on how you or your organization can bid on the auction of the star. Thank you for the question. Anything else?
Magnus.
Yeah, it turns out that every ticket that you just had has a QR code on it. At the risk of repeating myself with easy questions, where do you think that QR code directs? Exactly. Thank you.
And tell them they don't know the password.
Well, let's see, at the risk of ending the meeting on time, what I'm about to do, oh, another question here, thank you. So the question, and I'm gonna give it to you using the exact wording I just received. Where the hell is the QR code and what is it? I am aware of the demographics of this club. Jim, this is the KPAD ticket. You have a lot of it. On every KPAD ticket is a QR code. Jim, if you hold your cell phone up in front of the QR code, it will take you to the KPAD page on the Kiwanis website.
Yeah, with the camera.
Okay, that's enough on that.
You lose control, Mike.
So next week, our presentation, as sorry as I have to say, won't be about KPAD. It will be by Dr. David Jones from Williams Memorial Baptist Church. Title of the presentation is Building a loved community in the Star City. And J.C. Taylor will do the introduction. And with that,
Take some tickets. Go Sam! Go Sam!
good job. I did not take a cheap shot at your costumes. But that, the time is not fast. The time is still.
Very well.